Well, it's not uncommon for kids to dream about having their very own treehouse. Mom or dad might build something out of scrap lumber from the garage. What our next guest does is fantasy grade from Animal Planet's tremendously successful series, Treehouse Masters. Pete Nelson. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hey, we're fine here. Where are you right now? It looks like you might be in one of your creations.
You know, I am. I'm very proud to be sitting in a recording studio in the trees. I was called by the very famous recording studio out here called Bear Creek Studios outside of Seattle. And we created over the last couple of weeks a true recording studio that is 2 stories tall. It's got acoustic walls. It's got a bathroom off to my right. We're 18 feet off the ground as I speak to you today.
Is it not fair then to call it a tree house? It just sounds like an elevated recording studio.
Well, it is, except that we are actually in 6 western red cedar trees, one of my favorite trees to build in. And we've got windows all over, big French doors behind me, showing the fact that we are in nature. I mean, plugged directly into the woods, and there's no mistaking it. We're in a treehouse.
How does a guy like you get into building tree houses like that?
Well, it's one of these things where I've got a powerful imagination, I guess, like many of us do. And I was bitten by the treehouse bug as a kid, and then came back to it at age 25, like gangbusters. And I've been involved ever since. And I've been trying to master the craft of creating real tree houses that are supported by living trees, and of course we want to keep those trees alive. So we've learned an awful lot over the last 25 years, and now I get to share it with the world on my own television show, Treehouse Masters. I can't believe it.
So cool. You were talking just then about working with the trees that are in place. That's got to be exciting, but also, I would imagine, very challenging. It's not like, building a house where you have a large chunk of land that's been dozed and flattened. I mean, you've got to work with things where they stand.
Well, that's one of the nice challenges. I mean, it really is. It's fun. I mean, it's no single tree house is the same. And I've built now over 250 tree houses in my career, and not one has been the same, which keeps things fresh, I mean, it's really fun for me to interpret what the trees are giving us so that we can put something that works within them. And that's what makes my job, I think, so much fun.
So some of them, they function, but then some of them are just about being cool or fancy. Any unique features which stand out to you over all of those tree houses?
Well, I love the fact that the trees are moving and growing, and things are changing all the time. We have to keep in mind that, as the wind blows, this whole treehouse is going to move. And so then you need to take into account, what happens at the bottom of the stairs. We can't just connect them statically to a deck somewhere, because as the trees move, you've got to keep in mind that these things all move. So there's a lot of things going on in a treehouse that make it a little more fun than just building your everyday house. And I did that for a number of years in Seattle and enjoyed that a lot. But the extra challenge of creating a viable space in living trees is really what turns me on these days, and I'm just so fortunate to be able to do it for a living.
Hey, we're almost out of time. I'm curious if you've built any tree houses in the Omaha area or anywhere nearby.
Well, as a matter of fact, we are going on scouts right now for the next season of Treehouse Masters, and I understand we've got something in Oklahoma that we're heading towards. There's a lot of the middle states that we need to cover, because quite honestly, I've been building a lot on the West Coast and then all the way back on the East Coast, and I'd love to spend a little more time in the middle states and the southern states too. So we're going to concentrate on that as we sift through all the people that want tree houses now. It's a nice problem.
I bet it is. We do have trees here in Omaha, so let me know if you're coming by. We'd love to have you in the studio.
Oh, I'd love to visit. There's some good hardwood trees out there too, aren't there?
Yeah. The next episode, airs tomorrow night of Treehouse Masters on Animal Planet. Pete, all the best on this new season. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.